You wake upon the shores of an inky expanse, the sea of ink. In the dark ahead of you, a speck blinks a light and pulses as you move deeper into the void. The glowing mote of light blinks more brightly with your approach. As you reach to touch it, it inscribes strange glyphs into the air, some unknown language. Embrace the light? The light begins to surge, growing brighter and brighter until all you can see is light. And then, gone. A moment later, it blinks a light by your side, bound to you.
So, I threw them into the sea and said, "That's how you raise a child!" Maybe this is the one, Nib.
Ben, the poor soul is a needless. You know as well as I that they are unable to speak or to bind.
But they've bound a new quill! Arthur knows they don't like those needless very much, so something has to be going on.
That makes no sense. These stories have been fading long before more quills started showing up. Best leave the needless to fall right back in the sea where they came.
Aww, why don't we at least let them choose their aspect and forms first? It'd be a shame to not even see what they choose to be. Looks like you're not dead yet, so that's a good sign. And the form you chose is wonderful.
Yes, you've bound a quill. Quite unusual. It seems the ink has plans for you.
Oh, yes it does. You've already performed bindings and everything. Quite the spectacle it was.
Yes. A needless and a binder. Well, the Guardian ahead will not be as kind. Should you defeat it, perhaps you and your quill truly are fated for something grander than the sea.
Or not.
Well, it seems you're a binder of some strength, though you will continue to find these anomalies spread throughout our worlds.
They're taking all the ink away from us, making our stories fade away. Bad little unraveled. Bad.
For now, though, it's time you leave this place and venture to the Atheneum, the center and stronghold for all these worlds.
They don't like us much in there, so best if we say our goodbyes for now. But don't you worry, we'll see you soon.
The ink is not yet finished with you, Needless. Your form is young and still without purpose, but trust in your quill and you may just find it.
You appear inside a cavernous hall, packed with emptiness, but full of stories. A massive clock of books and gears looms above the expanse, tick, tick, ticking away. From the countless black depths, damp breezes moan to life and stir the pages strewn about the rubble. Your quill urges you deeper into the cavernous space.
Arthur be damned, another one. All you needless just traipsing here, still damp from the sea from which you crawled. I thought that surely the Inkbound had created you with more sense than that, yet you all continue to surprise me. Well, you're in the Atheneum now, needless. And no binder worth their words is going to give you unfettered access to our stories without a proper proving. A short dive into the inkwell should give us a good idea of you. And at the very least, knock a little sense into that empty head. Try not to drown too quickly.
The source of the ticking.
Don't you touch that bindery, needless, or your next dive into the inkwell will be your last. If even one book shifts out of place, the worlds to which you travel might collapse entirely.
Not a heart, though. A brain. A once vibrant market serving binders throughout the ages, now reduced to rubble and ruin. The feats of the Atheneum are plain to see, grand in design, but vain in construct.
you not dry? If you're to be counted amongst star ranks, at least wipe your feet. Author be damned. This Athenian will drown in the filth you track in well before the sea takes us. Be grateful the Inkbound places more faith in you than do I. Since you've decided to return, you'll find a few more of us that remain here. The unraveled left us thin in numbers. We scattered after, but many have begun to return. You were made to serve, needless. So, meet the other binders of the Atheneum and help them in whatever meager ways you can. Hurry, then.
Well, hello. I'm the counselor. Used to be a lot more of us. Counselors, that is. And everyone else, I guess. But just me now. Just me now, make the rules around here. More like laws, I guess. It's a bit complicated. Mostly it just means that I record things that people do. Other people. Which reminds me, I've got a list of specific things I need done on the board behind me. Changes day to day, but if you're free and you don't mind, any help you give would be, helpful.
Well, it's nice to be back again so fast, even if the place is a wreck. But the sight of all you needless buzzing around does give me a bit of hope. Surprised to hear we aren't as gruff as Grumpy Beard, huh? Well, sometimes a little youth goes a long way. You can call me the Stigmatist, craftswoman of forms and aspects. If you're looking to mix up your aspect, I'm your gal. Though it looks like you've got a solid one already. But if you ever do want to switch it up, go ahead and use that aspect apparatus over there. Got a couple other aspects for you to try out if you're feeling up to it.
You hear passing pages and manic mutters behind the door. Candlelight flickers at the bottom of the doorframe. You knock on the door and immediately the muttering stops. Then, shadows shuffle across the flickering light before it goes dark. As you turn to leave, you hear a rustling on the floor. A note with nothing but a list of tasks, none of them small.
Ignored by the Inkbound? Well, that's no real surprise. Your presence is at least known now. But that does not mean that there is any more hope for the larger threat to us all. I can tell by your vacant expression that you've no clue who this Inkbound is. Only our chosen hero, our fearless leader, and most trusted protector, our savior. While you and your quill gallivant through the worlds to achieve some temporary victory, the Inkbound toils away at a more permanent solution to these unraveled and off-fading stories. Regrettably, there is still work to be done, thus your creation. The garden's edge currently fades fastest. Your attention should be focused there to reclaim its ink for us.
I'm sorry. There I was, going on about forms and aspects, and you likely have no inkling clue what they are. Well, your form is your look, of course. You look great already, I'll admit, but there's no shame in ever wanting to mix things up. Aspects, though, they're the real thrillers, distilled essences of loss binders. You might not be able to create new bindings on your own needless, but these aspects will give you a class of bindings uniquely suited to whatever dangers you're facing. I know it's a bit hard to understand just by talking about it, so go ahead and take a peek at that aspect apparatus and reform enclosure over there.
The shelves are lined with books of all sizes and materials. Gilded leather tomes stamped with dry facts of history. Feathery parchments filled with flowery script. Poetry ready to evaporate with a stiff breath. But all of them share the same sickness. Their pages are fading. The words within them becoming shadows of a memory of a story.
Lots of potential, right? Lots of power, too, in the right hands. Now, I can't just go inscribing new aspects on just anyone, even if I did have them. Got to know they can handle it first. So if you can show me you're worth the ink, I'll make sure those aspects are right and ready. Well, that attitude sure is a good start, but you'll be needing to prove it to more than just me. Go on, see if you can wrangle those missing aspects from the others.
You might be fresh, Quill, but you best be learning some proper social graces if you mean to be ordering others around. But I know where your obelisk is. Been carving long enough to see all those aspects. But that information's gonna cost you. I got something worth doing by someone with your specific propensity for discretion. Just a couple little errands and a couple little books. You're in and you're out.
there, Needless! We've waited so long for you. While you've been off saving the world, we've been making a list of things for you to do.
Yes, it's all very exciting, but we really can't understate the importance of these tasks.
Meet some, defeat others. Just follow these tasks, and you'll be on your way. To what, though? We don't really know.
If you truly are something to the Ink, these should be of little effort to you, Needless, and perhaps some purpose may make itself known in the process.
Hold on, you're standing in my light. Ah, back from those small little tasks. Took you long enough. Got those shields right here for you. What? You think I just had information? Told you before. You need something worth getting? I got it. Oh, one more thing. You're gonna want to bring those 2 steel hunks back to that big old library. Old man with a beard and bad attitude would want them. Nice job with those unraveled so far. But you ain't lived until you fought a raven as big as a house. Though you probably have a lot more holes in you once you do, huh? Welly well, you're a shiny new needless, aren't you? Got a quill and everything. Bet you got quillins to spare too, huh? Well, be buying or be moving. This place ain't kinda idless.
You drop the shields down the gaping hole of the well. You wait, but never hear a splash. As you turn to leave, you hear the unmistakable scrape of metal on rock, and find the shields placed on the edge of the well. Dry, polished, ready.
Well, those shields sure got a good inscription on them. Figure I can get the obelisk aspect hooked up for you real quick with those.
A putrid place of rot and decay. Once a lush respite from the business of the Atheneum that's since been reduced to waste. If any story should serve as a herald of things to come from this blight, this Vengewood is surely it.
Good luck!
Needless. The Inkbound believes there's a vestige to be found that could guide us out of this predicament. The opal slab. An ancient relic of such power and complexity that you would likely be unable to comprehend. Regardless, the Inkbound needs this vestige and believes it to be hidden within these fading stories. As you've already seen, retrieving ink directly from these stories is a reliable method, but one requiring time. No, for this, there are other procedures more suitable. Perhaps an echoing? Yes. Recite the actions of each story or some approximation, and you will revive its soul, in a manner of speaking. This, in turn, will allow retrieval of any vestiges hidden within. There's an old tale, a children's book, that may have what the Inkbound needs. Somewhat sordid story of misplaced morality, but one of value nonetheless. Birdie on Fire. Find it, anchor it, return it to me.